So if I'm being completely honest with you, I was a little bit nervous, really. The sun's in my eyes. So hey, if I was being completely honest with you, I'd have to say I was a little bit nervous in the beginning because I had that washout. And the past 3 years where I planted the bluegrass on the other side of the building and planted it right here where the garden used to be, it came in lightning fast, like 7 days, and I was mowing in 14 days. This year, I have no idea what the difference was, but it has taken forever for it to finally come in. And I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was very nervous, but after the first mow, I think it's safe to say it's all over but the crying. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today, and I think it's looking pretty good. It's a little thin in some areas. Still got a little bit of washout damage, I guess is what you could call it, where it's a little bit more than thin, kind of right down the middle there. But we had 2 days of rain, real slow, steady, soft rain. And this thing has popped since then. A lot of this out through the middle, I've got baby grass that's like 1/4 inch tall, just kind of a blanket of baby grass all over the place. So that means it's gonna be okay. Now I do have a couple of little spots along the road which are bigger than a basketball, which are bare dirt, so I probably will have to spot seed those a little bit. I've got a couple little areas over here where I need to figure that out. For some reason or another, it's 2 spots that are just staying really, really, really wet. And in years past, those areas have not been really, really, really wet. So that's kind of got me baffled. I'm trying to figure that part out. But they're a little bare too, and that's simply because they're soggy. And they need to dry out a little bit, and then I'll probably get a little grass seed put back on those spots too. Some mowing. When do you mow after a renovation or after a aeration and seeding and that kind of thing? And for everybody, it's going to be different. We was talking about this on a live thing I did with Polo last night, and it's different for everybody. Not everybody cuts their grass the same height. Not everybody fertilizes the same, not everybody waters the same, not everybody has the same grass type. So it's a little bit different. So I'm gonna try to give you some big, general, broad things to look for so that you'll know when to mow it for the first time. First and foremost, the grass needs to be tall enough to mow, okay? In my case here, I've got Kentucky bluegrass, the blue heat, and my finished height of cut, meaning the height of cut that I want to maintain this turf at throughout the majority of the year, is going to be 1 inch or lower. So if I'm following the 1/3 rule, which I didn't today, some areas out here were about 2 inches tall, and I still cut it down to 3/4, so I cut well over 50% of the grass blade off, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it tonight because it'll be just fine. And then vice versa of that, even at 3/4 inch height of cut today, there were some blades of grass that my mower blades just wouldn't reach. They weren't tall enough. So it's kind of a happy median somewhere in the middle there, and I decided to mow it. It's kind of a feel thing for me. It's really, honestly, it's hard to give you some hardcore data and some hardcore numbers on when you should mow your grass for the first time after seeding it. But a lot of the times you can look at it and you just know when it's the right time to mow it. Obviously, you don't want to mow it super early because you're watering. You're in the middle of a heavy watering process, and the yard's gonna be wet. You don't wanna make a mess. Obviously, you don't wanna let it get a foot tall either, and then try to cut it back down to 4 inches, because you could possibly do some damage to the turf or make a big old mess in the yard that you gotta clean up. Something else you wanna be aware of is don't mow the yard when it's wet. You just come out of a hardcore watering period. The ground's got a lot of moisture in it, and you don't want to mow it too soon while it's wet. Cut your water off, give it a few days to dry out a little bit. Try to mow it in the middle of the day or later. You don't want heavy dew on the grass. You don't want the grass blades themselves to be wet. You want the grass blades to be dry when you mow it for the first time, because you know wet grass blades stick to metal, and then they can clog up under your deck and stick to everything, and all of a sudden all that stuff wants to fall out and you got a big mess to clean up. So if I had to put a number to it, if I had a fescue yard and I were gonna cut it at 3 inches, I would let the majority of the yard get around 4 inches and then mow it. If I had a bluegrass yard and I was gonna maintain it at 2 inches throughout the fall and the winter, I would let it get 2.5, 2 3/4, 3 inches and then mow it. I honestly think a lot of folks get way too wrapped up and try to be too technical with this stuff. It's grass. It's not rocket science. And most of the time you can come out here and you can look at it and you have this feeling that, you know what, the grass just looks like it needs to be cut. Is the mower blades gonna come in contact with every single last grass blade because some of them are a little bit shorter and some of them are a little bit taller? Probably not. Is that gonna destroy the yard? Probably not. You want good general coverage over the whole yard. Now what if you got a trouble spot and the majority of the yard's ready to be cut, but you got this little area over in the corner, it's just taking longer, it don't want to act right, or whatever the case may be. There's no laws or there's no rules that say you have to wait until that one area catches up with the rest of the yard. If the rest of the yard's ready to be mowed, mow the rest of the yard, and just don't put your lawnmower on the area that is not ready. When it does eventually catch up, then start mowing it. Now, what are my plans moving forward with this? Well, I'm gonna get super aggressive with my spoon feeding, meaning I'm gonna run to 505 at 10 ounces per 1,000 once a week. I'm going to try and mow this every other day. I'm not gonna lower the deck or raise the deck. I'm gonna keep the deck height at that 3/4 inch height of cut. And I'm gonna mow it every other day regardless. Sometimes I may just be barely clipping the top of the grass off, but the more I can mow it, the more I can encourage it to grow, the more it's gonna spread. And with me giving it some food from the 505, it's gonna wanna grow. And right now, that's what I want it to do, and that's what I need it to do, because I want these thinner areas out here to actually fill in. My game plan and my goal is to have 100% full cover before we get into hard winter. So I need to take every advantage of every single day that I've got of growing. So that's why I'm gonna be mowing it very aggressively every other day, and that's why I'm gonna be spoon feeding it every single week. And when we come back in about a month from now, you'll be pretty surprised at how well it's filled in and how well it's taken off and that kind of thing. So hey, I'm tickled with it so far. I'm really liking it. I really, really like this Allet mower. And one of the things I really like about it is that real big, heavy drum on the back of it that propels the machine forward. And it also flattens the ground out as I'm mowing. So the ground's a little bit moist. I'm not really going to need any water anytime soon because we've had quite a bit of rain. That's actually why I'm foliar feeding and spoon feeding, because I don't really need my irrigation right now. And with the ground being a little bit softer and a little moist, it's flattening out real good. So it's making a real nice, smooth mowing surface. Say on the Allet mower, I know that it's a high-end commercial reel mower. They're very expensive. I've had a lot of people express interest in them, and I had a company reach out to me. They're from Arizona, and they're a dealer, and they sell Allet mowers. And for whatever reason, I don't know, it wasn't none of my business, I didn't even ask, they're not going to be carrying that line of mowers anymore. So they set up a link, and those mowers are highly discounted. They're still expensive because it is what it is. It's a full-blown commercial mower, but it's considerably cheaper than if you bought one, you know, straight up and paid the full price for it. The one you saw me mowing with today, I actually bought it from this dealer. So I'm gonna link that up in the description below. It'll be there. You can look at it if it's something you're interested in. I doubt very seriously you'll find the outlet mower any cheaper than what these guys are selling them for. So hey, I know I told you that when we do the first mow, we'd pick a winner for that contest. But I'll just be honest with you, we've been aerating and seeding at work. I've been just stupid busy, and me and my family, we did sit down and read through all of them. We've got 6 or 7 names that picked out that we really like, but we really haven't narrowed it down to the exact one that we like. We'll try to get that done in the next month. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I had a little contest in another video. Go in the description below, find the other video, and go comment there and pick out your name, and the winner's going to get a full year's supply of fertilizer and bios and a sprayer and basically everything you need for a 10,000 square foot yard for a whole year. But like I said, it ain't this video that you comment on. Go to the one in the link in the description and do that, and we'll get on the ball, and we'll try to get that name picked out here pretty soon. So hey, as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.